Welcome to this presentation on life after treatment, healing from the emotional and psychological strain of cancer. I'm Chesley Plotton, licensed clinical social worker with the Harold Alfond Center for Cancer Care. In this presentation, we will be talking about how cancer may have affected you emotionally and psychologically, and how you can heal and even thrive after cancer. While this presentation is focused on life after treatment, many of the issues and topics that we will be discussing arise from the moment of diagnosis or could arise at any point during treatment. The cancer experience isn't over just because treatment has ended. You and your body are still recovering. You are still grappling with a world you never expected to enter, a world you never wanted to enter. The world of cancer doesn't just disappear once treatment is done. For many, the end of treatment can mean the start of processing what you've been through. The end of treatment can mean finding your way through healing, just as those around you are expressing relief that it is over. The end of treatment can mean trying to understand what comes next. Life after treatment isn't a time that we speak of often enough. Understanding your diagnosis and getting through treatment, whatever that may be, surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, can take all your energy and focus, leaving little space to think about what happens next when that last treatment finishes. But life after treatment is its own unique journey and catches many by surprise. You go through treatment expecting to feel relief, happiness, celebration at reaching the end. And while all these emotions may be present, frequently others emerge: fear, grief, sadness, anxiety. These are normal. In fact, the majority of people who have been diagnosed with cancer experience some mix of sadness, anxiety, and even depression following treatment. But because we don't talk about it enough, these emotions often catch people by surprise. Patients have said, "Why didn't anyone tell me this would happen? Why is it happening now when treatment is done? I was prepared to face cancer, but not for life after treatment. You don't know what it's like till you get there." Because the thoughts and emotions that flood in after treatment ends aren't always expected, it can feel as though you are doing something wrong. Frequently, those who love you, who have worried about you from the moment of diagnosis, are so relieved that you have finished treatment that they are celebrating, are telling you how strong you are asking you whether you are happy. But the celebration happening all around you may seem worlds away from how you feel on the inside. If this happens for you, it is normal. It is understandable. You have been through something extraordinarily difficult. But it is also something that can get better. Together, we are going to look at why life after treatment can bring such a complex mix of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And then we are going to talk about how to heal, how to ease anxiety, and how to release worry. Why might you struggle after treatment ends? You are still healing, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and likely countless other ways. Cancer does so much more than affect you physically. It interrupts your life. It takes away, at least temporarily, what you thought would be. Perhaps it forced you to stop working, or took you away from spending time with your children, or forced a change in your plans for retirement. Cancer can cause you to wonder if you'll ever have back the life you knew or planned on. It challenges how you see yourself. For many people, a cancer diagnosis comes as a shock. I was healthy. How could this be me? I'm not one of those sick people. Cancer makes mortality all too real. We all know intellectually that we are mortal, that an accident could happen. People often say, "I could be hit by a bus tomorrow," to illustrate how we understand that the future isn't promised to any of us. But understanding that you are mortal and being confronted with it are two very different things. Could it come back? Fear of recurrence, of not being there for your family and loved ones, are very common after hearing that you have had cancer. Isolating. A cancer diagnosis can bring tremendous love and support from friends, family, and the community, but it can also cause a sense of isolation. Not all friends are comfortable with cancer and will have difficulty being present with you. Others may have a hard time understanding what you've been through and will try to offer support by telling you what you should be doing, that you should be happy it's over, that you are so strong and shouldn't worry, and that you should let it go. It's in the past. One patient shared with me that as their family was saying all of these encouraging things, she felt she was screaming on the inside and no one could hear her. Cast adrift. Throughout your treatment, you were surrounded by extra support. Your medical team was by your side throughout, and now they're no longer a constant presence. It can feel as though you have been cast adrift with no map to follow. All of this can lead to grief, anxiety, depression. Grief. Cancer brings losses. There are those others can see. Perhaps you have lost your hair. Perhaps surgery has caused dramatic changes to your body. Then there are those that can't be seen. Perhaps cancer affected your job, your friendships, or your sense of self. Anxiety, the body's natural emergency response system that kicks in when our survival is threatened. Even once the immediate crisis has passed, the mind and body can keep this emergency system on high alert, causing you to feel anxious and worried. Depression. When the mind and body have been under strain for too long, it can lead to depression. Depression frequently feels like you don't have motivation to do things that you used to love. Perhaps you have difficulty sleeping. Perhaps you are sad more often than not. So how do you heal and move forward and feel more like yourself again? First, know that you are not alone. Grief, sadness, anxiety, and depression are very common among people who have had a cancer diagnosis. This isn't because you aren't strong enough or that you aren't doing the right things. If you are experiencing these emotions, it is because you have been through and are going through something extraordinarily difficult. Grief, anxiety, and depression can all be normal side effects of the cancer journey. If you experience any one of these, particularly depression, please reach out to your oncology team or your primary care physician. This is not suffering that you have to endure. It can get better. There are people trained and devoted to helping it get better. A first step may be asking for help. Frequently, we hear the word strong and think of someone physically and mentally able to handle things on their own. But it takes a lot more strength and courage to say, I need help, and even more strength to accept help. There is a lot of help available in a lot of different ways. Counseling by therapists trained in helping people cope with the cancer experience can provide you with a safe place to process all that you have been through and everything that you are trying to make sense of now. Counseling can help you understand why you may be feeling worried, anxious, or depressed, and how you can feel better. Counseling can help you find new ways to communicate with those that you love what you exactly need at this time. Connection and support. Talking with others who have had a cancer diagnosis, even if it is not the same as yours, can be tremendously helpful. Talking with someone who has been there means that there is so much you don't have to explain. Other cancer patients can help you see that you are not alone, that what you are experiencing is normal. It is very hard, but it is normal, and it can get better. Some of the ways that you can help your mind and body heal. First, tell your story. By telling your story, you help your mind and body make sense of what they have experienced. Telling your story also helps you begin the process of figuring out how the story of cancer fits into your life. Before cancer, you had a story of you, of your life, that you were constantly adding to. While you didn't choose to add a chapter on cancer, you do get to decide how it gets written. There are many ways to tell your story. You can tell a friend about the day you were diagnosed. You can write it down in a journal. You can share it with a support group or with a counselor. Each time you share even a part of your story, you are working on making the story yours. And that's very important. This story doesn't belong to cancer. It belongs to you. Give yourself the gift of relaxation, of rest, for the mind and nervous system. We often underestimate the toll of cancer on the mind and body. It takes an extraordinary amount of mental and physical energy to go through treatment. That wears us down and can make us eager to feel better, to get back to our regular activities. But recovery takes time, and it can be hard to be patient. Grant yourself permission to take the time that you need. You can also help your mind and body in that process by giving it the gift of extra time of relaxation. Each time you allow your mind and body to rest, you are giving it time to heal. Be outside. Nature is healing. Our mind and bodies evolved to be outside. Give yourself permission to stare at the blue sky, watch the clouds go by, walk in the woods, or sit on a beach listening to the waves roll in. Give your body movement. Whatever physical level you are at after treatment, allow your body to move, to stretch. This allows for the release of built-up tension, but it also helps you to work on rebuilding your strength. Reconnect with who and what you love. Cancer and treatment can cause us to retreat into ourselves out of necessity. Many days you are just trying to hold on. That can mean that activities you enjoyed, people you used to talk with regularly, got put to the side out of necessity. See if you can identify 1 or 2 activities or friends to reintroduce to your weekly routine. Take it slow. Follow a pace that feels right to you. Mindfulness and meditation can be wonderful ways to allow the mind and body opportunities to take a break from worry, anxiety, and just rest. You don't need special training or practice. In fact, there are great free apps available that have guided meditations that lead you through relaxing exercises. You can spend as little as 30 seconds or as long as an hour, but each time you close your eyes and allow yourself to just breathe and be, you are helping yourself heal. You didn't choose cancer. It may have interrupted your life, but it doesn't have to take it over. This is your life after treatment. Healing and wellness are possible. When you were first diagnosed with cancer, you and your doctors made a plan for your treatment. You can do the same for your life after treatment. With your family, your doctors, your counselors, your support systems, you can make a plan that helps you heal, feel stronger, and focus on the life that works for you. For more information, resources, or to explore counseling, call 621-6100 and ask to speak with one of our social workers.